Alright guys, in this video we will be looking at non-permissible values of trigonometric identities. So first we have this equation, secant of data is equal to tan of data over sine of data. The first thing we want to do if we want to find the non-permissible value is change everything into either sine or cosine. So first let's change secant of data, and secant of data is 1 over cos of data. And here we have sine of data. Okay, and tan of data is going to be equal to sine of data over cos of data. Alright guys, now in order to get the non-permissible values, we need to look at every single identity that's underneath the fraction sign. So here cos of data is underneath the fraction sign, sine of data is underneath the fraction sign, and this cos of data is underneath the fraction sign. So we have to say that all of these identities underneath the fraction sign cannot equal 0. So cos of data cannot equal 0, and sine of data cannot equal 0. Alright guys, so first let's look at cos of data is equal to cannot equal 0. So here we have the cosine of data function, and if we see here, when data is equal to pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2, cos of data will equal 0. And this will continue forever. So that means that when data is equal to these values, cos of data is equal to 0, but cos of data cannot equal to 0 in our non-permissible values. So we have to say that data cannot equal pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, and so on. So how can we write a general solution for this, because it goes on forever? Well, a general solution will be data cannot equal pi over 2, which is our first term in the sequence, plus n pi, and when n is part of the integer system. So say we put 0 for n, we will get pi over 2, and when we put 1 into n, we will get pi over 2 plus pi, which is going to be 3 pi over 2, and which is our second term in the series. So this is our general solution. So any integer we put into n will give us one of the values of data. Alright guys, now we're going to look at sine of data cannot equal 0. So here we have the sine function, sine of data, and when does sine of data equal 0? Well, when data is equal to pi and 2 pi. So that means that data cannot equal pi, 2 pi, and then so on, because when data is pi and 2 pi, sine of data will equal 0. So how do we write another general solution for this? General solution. Well, when data cannot equal, what's our first term? Oh, in this case, we will just write n pi, where n is part of the integer system, because, well, let's say n is 1, then we will get pi. When n is 2, we will get 2 pi. When n is 3, we will get 3 pi, which is going to be the next number in our sequence. So guys, this general solution right here and this general solution right here are the non-permissible values for our trigonometric identity